Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of Ore. We're going to be running some material today. That's the main plan. I'm going to turn the plant on and we're going to run down in the mine there and get a load of iron ore, maybe 2 loads of iron ore, maybe some copper as well. And then we're going to be hitting this shelf behind me. I've been digging in and we got quite a bit of pay dirt there. We've got some pay dirt and some coal. So we'll be doing that and let's get started. I've run through everything I had on me. We've got about 20 grand here, you can see. Plenty of coal in there. Fire that up. Let's make sure. Yep, it is indeed running. We got the water going. Kind of almost feel like I need a support right there. Let's do that. All right. In we go. And into the mine. It's a little bit of a drive down in here, but not too bad. We have to go uphill to go downhill. So I'm excited to make some money and get a little bit bigger loader. Was it the L9? I forget exactly, but there was a loader I used a long time on Season 4. I think it might have been the L9. This is the smallest loader. We need to upgrade at some point, but this little guy does all right. And we can't get too much bigger before they can't go into the mine here and get stuff for us. All right, what I found is you just lower the bucket all the way, and then you can just manage the tilt. It scoops pretty well. Sometimes you have to do a raise of a touch, depending on the terrain. Yeah, I turned. You lose a ton of horsepower when you turn. I'm not sure why. I don't think I ever got a good answer for that. I've asked about that in previous series. Like, is that a thing in real life? Is it robbing the hydraulic pressure or something? I assume these are hydrostatic drive. Don't know for sure how that works. There is a drive shaft there. That could be coming off a hydrostatic transmission in the back. I'm just not convinced these machines are as powerful as they should be. But I'm not a heavy equipment operator, so I don't really know. We'll eventually get out, don't you worry. I think last time I made a run at it. We're so slow here. We got a little bit of a back room here we can back into. So I'm going to go for it. Confident horn. Yeah, this thing's not very speedy anyway. Nice little cyclical bounce going. Alright, we're going downhill, so I'm going to raise this bucket up a little more. So hopefully we don't tip anything out. Woo! We're hitting the ceiling. So this should be mostly iron ore. I think it's got some dirt in it too. See, it looks nice and smooth, and then you get on it with this loader and bouncing all over the place. Make a nice slow turn here since I got that load up in the air. We're still pumping out. It's going to be mostly iron ore, but I'll go ahead and run it through the process. That way it'll end up in the storage nice and tidy. With the iron, I can turn it into steel. So I thought I'd get some copper, but what's the price? So if we go to ore price, iron ore's 16. Copper ore is worth a little more. Maybe we should smelt copper. Maybe that's the play. Well, eventually when I get enough money, I could have a machine down here and conveyor it out. That would take a decent amount of investment. We might do that at some point. So this looks really dark to the left, but it is copper. So you get some light on it, you can see. Also, if you see that little hole right there, that actually goes all the way to the surface. I dug up through there. Comes up just above the plant. Come on, little loader. That may be faster in front drive, but not so much. 2 miles an hour. Awesome. Sorry, you guys, you like watching me drive slowly out of a mine, right? That's peak YouTube content right there. That's alright. If you're here, you're probably used to my style of play, which is, I'm just a guy playing video games in the little bit of spare time that I have. Nothing fancy, no fancy edits, no yelling, no over-the-top avatars. It's just me, an old fart playing video games. I don't know if I even need to make a run at this. We're still kind of just chugging along. Yeah. Do alright. I think I can even turn once I get on flat, so we don't lose all of our momentum. Scoop of iron, a scoop of copper. Then I think we'll hit this pay dirt over here. It looks like it has chugged through the backlog. I had dumped some material in there. I was kind of prospecting that bench. I hit it with the metal analyzer, so I knew there was pay dirt and coal back in there, but you never know like exactly where it's going to be or how it's going to play out in shape. One weird thing is when you scoop down below, you get all this weird stuff up top. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Just the way the dirt renders, I guess. In case you're wondering, that I didn't dig up there, that just kind of happened. So we'll run a bunch of pay dirt. Then I'll stop every once in a while and I'll pull the ores out and get the smelter and the small wash plant going. One of these days we can have all that automated. I guess I could just work on the plant and still use this little guy. I don't know, I just kind of want something a little more powerful. Maybe just get like an L9, nothing huge, but just a little more engine power, a little more bucket capacity. Looks like it's running through that, even at the cheapest power, like 1x or whatever it is. It's running through before I can get back with another scoop. I'm liking the new dirt mechanics, so it took a little bit of getting used to, but I like it. And I had some comments about the loaders, the bigger ones, so I did fire up a test save. And I ran an L11 for a little while, and it worked just like this one does. It was fine for me. So I think we'll be fine upgrading the loaders. Unless there's one in particular that's broken or something. Could be some tweaks. It seems to bog it down, even with an empty bucket, not making much of a cut if you're flat on the ground. So there could be a little bit of tweaking, but overall, I'm happy with it. Oops, not happy with dumping that out before I got to the hopper. I gotta get back in the groove. Just moving yards of material. That's what it's all about. Whee! So I think my wife's blowing up my phone. Don't text and shovel. She is making inquiries about food. So I had to answer that. Oh, I also should probably dump this off into the hopper. Thought I tilted that all the way. I blame Mrs. Kerbo. It's all her fault. Alright, is that actually pay dirt up there, or is that just a weird artifact? Not sure. Also, with the bigger loader, we should, in theory, be processing all the time. Right now, we've got some slack time because it's able to process my scoop full before I can get back. Of course, the bigger the load we have, the less slack time you have. So, I think it's worth getting a bigger loader. I'll keep my eye on the L9. I think it's around 150 grand, maybe. I should check. See what old Iron Johnson's got for sale. I kind of wish there was more used equipment. Wasn't that a thing for a while? You could buy like used equipment. I don't know if that's a thing now on the new map with the new beta. This is the beta, by the way. I've had a couple comments. And you can find instructions for accessing the beta on the Steam discussion for the game. It's pretty simple. I'm not sure when it'll get pushed out to the main branch. I'm recording this on the 6th of July, 2026. I think this, if I remember right, this is going to be a Friday video. So I'm recording it a few days early. Had a little bit of time. So we're trying to get a video recorded. I think it's super relaxing. I do enjoy this game for just chilling after a long day of work. Fuel low, indeed. We do burn a lot of fuel, but we're making more than enough money to pay for the fuel. It's not a biggie. So I'll just back up extra far. Take a little sip of fuel. And we're off. Now, as we expand the plant, we're cramped for room. So I need to do some scouting around. Decide what I want to do there. That's coming as well. But what we have right now works for what I want to do. It'll make us that initial money. But we will want to expand the plant at some point. So I may have to dig a digger shelf. Dig a digger shelf. Wow. Dig a bigger shelf. I don't know if I'll go that way or might just expand this. I think I'm going to keep a lot of the dirt because I could use the dirt as like backfill. Also, something I want to test, maybe you all have tried it. There's the turn pass-through on the storage. Can you have like a chute off of one of those and then turn pass-through on to fill up a truck? I've wanted to do that, but it's never worked that way before. As far as pulling out of storage. So if you've set up something like that, let me know. So I've always had to set up like a separate hopper and loader configuration where I dump into the hopper and then I can load it into a truck. But if you could just toggle it off of a storage, that would be ideal. Hopefully we get that option at some point if it's not already in. Actually, let's do a clean out. How are we looking on fuel? Oh, we're good on fuel. All right, cool. We've got a pretty good stockpile of coal there. Excellent. Ooh, look at that. We got all kinds of stuff. Beautiful. And then we should have just ended up with dirt in here. Yeah, got almost 10,000 dirt. And we got a little bit of stuff in there. We got some iron ore and some copper ore. Cool. I'll grab that. Whee! I need to get some catwalks and stuff, but that'll all come when we have more money to play with. Don't have that kind of money right now. So we'll fire those up. Let's see. We will get the silicon. Oops. Silicon made. Get the gold smelted. And then some copper smelted. And then some iron smelted. Let that process away. We'll keep on feeding the beast. Now, this might be a shorter video. We'll see. I am just running material, and I don't have a ton of time this evening to record. But I'll usually try to do at least 30 minutes. On this game, people kind of like the longer videos, I think. But probably be closer to the 30 minutes on this episode rather than an hour. I know a lot of you watch these in the background while you're doing other stuff, so the longer videos go over well for that. Yeah, see, it's not doing much cutting, and it still slows down a lot, so that could use a little bit of tweaking. I need to buy some more info, do some blasting. Sweet. My lovely wife is on the way home with pizza. It's the kind of wife you want. We usually eat pretty healthy, but I pinged her earlier. I was like, hey, you want to grab pizza on the way home? She was amenable to the idea. One of our favorite pizza places is right on her way home. So works out nicely. It's one of the few St. Louis style pizzas I like. St. Louis style pizza is like really super thin. I usually say it's a saltine with some ketchup on it. This place does a pretty good job. Their crust is thin, but they do a really good job with the toppings. I'm more of a New York style pizza guy, personally. But other than like chains, like Papa John's, we don't have too much of the New York style out here. We do have a Marco's. That's another chain that's not too bad. But as far as like mom and pop, smaller type pizza places, we don't have anything like that around us. Get closer to St. Louis, you get that kind of thing. Alright, are you just dirt? I think you might just be dirt. That's a big old shelf. When we blast, wonder how much dirt will come down. The machine's getting dirty. Come on, little guy. You got this. There we go. What time is it getting to be on here? It's still just 9:57. Oh, I put it on pause. Oops, I forgot to put that back on single speed. I had it paused when I was doing something. Well, we'll get the sun back to moving. The weather I tend to set manually because if you have it on dynamic, it'll be like a blizzard or something that just doesn't really make any sense. It just cycles through a little. I try to change it up once in a while. It's on clear skies right now, as you can see. So if you see the weather change during different videos, that's just me changing it in the settings. Also, I shared some screenshots, I think, on the Discord. This looks great at night. Like when this is all black and you can see the lights of the town down there in the valley, it looks really cool. I know the night stuff isn't that great for YouTube, but it does have some good looking lighting in it. See if we can flatten this off a little better. I say it wasn't too bad for pushing in. I think it could be a little more powerful. That was pretty decent. Now, can I make another scoop that lines up with that? Maybe. I think I'm over far enough. It's kind of hard to adjust that with the keyboard sometimes. There we go. Even with this little guy, we're running a decent amount of material through that plant. So I think the money is going to start coming in. See how we do on a clean out. That'll probably be next episode because it's going to take a while to process all that stuff. I usually do a bunch of material processing and then I'll let the smelter and whatnot just run in the background while I'm doing other things. So I'll have to see where we're at next episode. But I wanted to run a bunch of pay dirt in this episode. That was kind of the main focus. So that's why I've just been scooping the pay dirt in there. Kind of looks like we're running into regular dirt there. Is that just a pocket of pay dirt? Oop, easy there. Yeah, it may just be a pocket of pay dirt. Interesting. Alright, let's get another scoop, I think. We'll let that run through and get it to processing, and then I'm going to have to call it quits here, unfortunately. Like I said, it's going to be a little shorter video. Don't have a ton of time today. And this week is going to be pretty busy with work, so this is a Monday, but I'm recording Friday's video. So I got some recording done for the week over the weekend, but didn't quite get all of it done, so trying to pick up the slack because I don't have a lot of time during the week with work and family stuff. I tend to record in bursts on the weekend. And I'd like to get a stream in once in a while, but those have been few and far between lately. Yeah, I wasn't really satisfied with that scoop. Let's get one more. Trying to come in on the level, but it's not. Wasn't picking it up, so I kind of messed it up. Yeah, that's still pay dirt, but there's a little bit of dirt right there in the middle. Alrighty, little loader, let's get you topped off with fuel so you're all ready to go next time. The fast fuel. I got an Indy pit crew back there. Going all NASCAR on me. Alright, we'll let you cool down. Looks like that's all ran through, so whoops. Turn off the power because we're going to be done feeding it for a little bit. Yeah, we barely used any. That wasn't bad at all. Oh, autosave. Just in time, autosave. Well done. Alright, we need to clean out the sluice box. We're getting a lot of gold out of there. And a lot of ruby. Interesting. And then this should just be dirt. It is indeed dirt. Stack and a half. And we're just getting some coal in there, so that's fine. We'll leave that in there. I'll be selling off some of that as well. But I'd have to go down to town. Alright, we'll kick off another round of those. Yeah, that's going to be a decent little chunk of change. And then we're just starting to work on the gold, it looks like. So let me kill this off. We'll redo it. We got some more silicon in, so let's do silicon. And then gold. And then we'll work on the copper and then the iron. There we go. You can see it's going to take 2 hours just to do the gold. So I'll be letting this run. That's about, what, 2 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. Almost 4 hours just on the smelter. So I'm going to let that chug while I do other things. Often just fill it up and let it run overnight, and then it's done in the morning. But anywho, that'll be it for this one. Thanks as always for hanging out. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care and happy digging.